Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And you don't have to be a genius to know what the Ramaphosa is going to say next. You know, this coronavirus lockdown is, according to him, his get out of jail free card regarding the economy imploding. Forget about all the corruption, forget about South African Airways collapsing before they went into lockdown, forget all of that sort of stuff. Just understand that from now on, when Ramaphosa talks about the damage to the economy, it's going to be put straight in the court of the lockdown, the coronavirus lockdown that South Africa never needed to have. And I have shown ample video footage on the 2020 channel, which you can go and look at, where you can see how this lockdown is being completely ignored by a certain community group in South Africa. And the police are doing nothing about it. But if someone of this color puts a foot out of line, it's bang. It just reminds me so much of what happened 80 years ago in Germany. It is getting that bad. Now, just to add a bit of meat to the bone, President Cyril Ramaphosa said on Tuesday that South Africa was witnessing the total destruction of its economy due to the COVID-19 coronavirus. Okay, so he's putting it totally in the blame of COVID-19. This is what they do. They're always perfect, even though they're so friggin' corrupt and have destroyed the economy long before COVID-19 came about. Anyway, he continues on and saying that radical economic transformation must be central to plans to rebuild and repurpose. Now, for people who don't live in South Africa, let me explain to you what Ramaphosa is talking about here. He's talking about replacing white management, not only in the public sector, but in the private sector, with black management. That's what's called economic transformation. They're talking about racial economic transformation. This is part of the boiling frog syndrome that is just clearly Ramaphosa's agenda. Anyway, continuing on. Ramaphosa made the statements in Durban while addressing the Provincial Command Council led by Premier Cele Zikalala, which is coordinating KwaZulu-Natal's response to the virus. Radical economic transformation was once a rallying cry of former President Jacob Zuma's supporters. The president said COVID-19 had presented an opportunity to reconstruct the economy. What he should actually be saying is that the lockdown has provided him with the opportunity to use smoke and mirrors to suggest that the reason South Africa's economy is dying is because of corruption. But no, it'll be blamed on the lockdown. Ramaphosa said, COVID-19 has brought about a total destruction of our economy. As we speak, there are people under a great deal of stress and challenge. We now collectively must respond to how we are going to rebuild and reposition this economy. Now, this is a man who just a week or so ago paid 500,000 rand for a bull. He could have put that 500,000 rand towards food parcels. But you know why he hasn't paid 1 cent of his own money into any kind of charitable thing? Because he knows it'll be pilfered. That's what happens. That's how the ANC work. They're all on the take. So if someone from the top gives some money, guess what? Someone lower down who's controlling that money will take it. This is how it works in the gangster state of South Africa. Anyway, Ramaphosa likened the impact of the virus to the aftermath of war, saying it was time to stop playing around the edges when dealing with the economy. COVID-19 is quite frankly giving us the opportunity to relook at our economic side of life, to see how we as South Africans reconstruct our economy after coronavirus, knowing the coronavirus has dealt us a huge blow. Well, Mr. Ramaphosa, pog my horn, you're talking a load of BS. What has done huge damage to our economy is corruption and incompetency at all levels of the ANC. From you, Mr. Ramaphosa, all the way down to the junior clerk at a municipality. Corruption just flows right through the entire chain. That's why South Africa is in so much shit today, proverbially. Because look what is happening at the municipal level. All that sewage just flowing through streets and into rivers. This is happening on your call, Mr. Ramaphosa. You are liable for what's going on in South Africa. You are a complete joke and a complete disgrace. You're not a president. You're a complete a-hole. And that's a fact. Anyway, let's continue. Ramaphosa said, we must address those challenges that COVID-19 is going to yield on the economic side. And my view is that we must begin to put in place the pillars of a new economy. We cannot continue in the same old way. Incredible. And the tragedy is that a lot of the black African population will believe him. They will accept that. Because when those food parcels go out, which are paid for by largely white taxpayers, guess what the people delivering those food parcels to these communities will be wearing? Yep, you don't have to be a genius to work this one out. An ANC t-shirt, which sends that subliminal message that this is the ANC political party helping you out. Nothing could be further from the truth when you look at the amount of theft that these ANC cadres at all levels are doing in stealing the same food parcels before they even get to the starving. It's absolutely disgusting. Anyway, Ramaphosa said in the new economy the government would identify new sectors while rebuilding ones badly affected. How about the tourism industry, Mr. Ramaphosa, where unless it's a black-owned enterprise, there's no funds being made available to support those industries or those B&Bs or whatever it might be as a result of the lockdown. The only people who are being supported are those who got 51% plus black ownership. This is completely ridiculous. South Africa has got to be the most racist country ever in the world. I mean, what they're doing to the minority groups is just beyond the pale. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, Weasel Words Ramaphosa goes on to say, we need to find, create and build jobs for the many of our people who are going to lose jobs. We need to be asking ourselves, what is this new vision that we envision for our country going forward? We need to come up with a clear economic strategy, and the building blocks are already in place. We now need to put them all together. What he's actually talking about is further black privilege in the ruling class of the ANC. This is how this all works. The average black person who's living in a township, he won't see any of this. He's just going to see his poverty getting even worse. That's a reality. This is a theft of a country by a very small elite group of black people who run the country. The politicians, the connected families, the friends, the cadres. This is a complete, disgusting gangster state. Anyway, Ramaphosa said, he said the new economic future must be inclusive, empowering to men, young people, and to black people in the main. So, what happened to the white community? What happened to the colored community? What happened to the Indian community? What happened to the Khoisan, the original landowners of South Africa? Not these devious, stealing black and Nguni people who came down from the north into South Africa, who now suggest that the land was stolen from them, thus expropriation without compensation. They are a complete and utter disgrace. That's what's happening. I'm sorry, guys, I'm having a bit of a rant here because when I see Ramaphosa talking crap. I mean, this is massive bullshit. It just really riles me. Ramaphosa said, radical economic transformation must underpin the economic future that we will need to craft going forward. We should be able to do this through a new compact we're going to build. Elaborating further, he said the new compact would involve all key role players in our economy, as well as labour and community-based organisations. Now, I must add, guys, that the newspapers in South Africa are literally parroting what he says. There's no objective reporting saying, but Mr. Ramaphosa, you have lied so often that we know you're talking bullshit here again. You know why? Because they face some severe repercussions if they dare take on the ANC. This is why here in Australia I can speak like I do and spell out the complete crap that Ramaphosa says. Anyway, Ramaphosa went on to say, we must be able and visionary enough to set up this compact to be able to rebuild the economy, to look out for new sectors, new ways of economic activity, new ways of management of our economy. And he said state-owned entities must function in a way that is developmental, in a way that will be ethical, and in a way that must be innovative. Well, this is how we know he's talking bullshit. Okay, he says 3 different words: developmental, ethical, and innovative. Well, let's start off with developmental. All the ANC have done over the last 26 years is they've just destroyed everything. So that's BS number 1. Okay, he says must be ethical. You're talking about a gangster state that is so corrupt and no one has ever been brought before the courts. That's BS number 2. And then BS number 3, innovation. What have the black transformation, remember he's talking about the black population here, to the exclusion of all others. That's what black economic transformation is all about. What have the black population ever innovated since 1652 when Jan van Riebeeck came to South Africa? I don't think you could count it in one hand. This is the BS that he talks. He is just a load of crap. And the little icon I'll have at the start of this video kind of sums it up. It says that, you know, if everything he said could be shown to be BS, he would be able to drive a power station because he's so full of it. And I'll put it another way. If Ramaphosa, after he died, was given one of those pills that you take and causes you to have the runs, he would fit into a shoebox because he's so full of shit. Okay, let's continue. Ramaphosa said, in the course of all this, we need to build and strengthen state capacity. Innovation must underpin the things we are going to be able to do. We must be innovative and willing to rebuild our economy. I think you're getting the message. This man is either totally delusional or, more probably, he's just a straight-faced liar and a con man. Ramaphosa said growth must be our primary goal. He said, we are going to have to go for growth in a big and exponential way and be willing and brave and courageous enough to massify whatever needs to be done, because playing around on the edges with whatever efforts we are making, that time is now. Well, it ain't going to happen. I'm looking forward to when the Western Cape secedes from the rest of South Africa, and I will then be able to fly back to South Africa into an independent country which is run by the adults in the room, not by these thieving children. Alright guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe.